The story of Saint Benedict of Nursia.
Subscribe to our channel to receive more content like this.
Long ago, in the late 400s AD, in a small Italian town called Nursia, a boy named Benedict was born into a wealthy Roman family. He had everything a young man could ask for: comfort, education, opportunity. But even as a teenager, Benedict felt that something was missing. He looked around and saw a world filled with ambition, greed, and chaos. Rome was falling apart, both politically and morally. People were chasing power and pleasure, but he wanted peace. He wanted something real, something holy. So, Benedict made a bold decision. He left it all behind: his wealth, his studies, even his family, and went to live alone in the mountains. He settled in a cave near a place called Subiaco, and there, in the silence of nature, Benedict prayed. He fasted. He listened for God's voice. And slowly, something inside him changed. The world he'd left behind grew quieter and quieter, and a new kind of strength began to grow. Now, people in nearby villages heard about this young man living in a cave. Word spread, "There's a holy man in the mountains." And before long, others came to find him, asking for guidance, prayer, or simply a little bit of wisdom. Eventually, a group of monks came to Benedict and said, "Lead us. Teach us how to live closer to God." Benedict hesitated. He knew the life he lived wasn't easy, and sure enough, some of the monks didn't like his discipline. They found his rules too strict, his expectations too high. At one point, things got so tense, someone even tried to poison him. But Benedict didn't panic. There's a famous moment where he blessed the cup of wine meant to kill him, and it shattered in his hands. God was watching over him. So what did Benedict do? He moved. He left that place and started fresh. And here's where the story gets really important. Benedict didn't give up. He went on to build 12 small communities of monks, each with about 12 brothers. But more than just building places to live, he built a way of life. He wrote something called the Rule of Benedict. It wasn't a book of punishment or fear. It was a guide to balance. It taught monks how to live simply, humbly, and peacefully, how to pray, how to work, how to treat one another with respect. Everything had a time and a purpose: prayer, reading, physical work, even rest. And at the heart of it all was one powerful idea: ora et labora, means pray and work. Benedict believed that a holy life wasn't just found in long prayers or quiet retreats. It was also found in ordinary things, done with love: cooking meals, cleaning, gardening, welcoming guests, living with others in kindness. His way was gentle but strong, structured but full of grace, and people began to notice. Over time, Benedict's communities grew into monasteries, places where faith and learning thrived. These monasteries preserved books, educated people, cared for the poor, and prayed constantly. In the darkness that followed the fall of Rome, Benedict's way became a light, keeping knowledge, peace, and hope alive. Now, Benedict didn't become famous in his own lifetime. He lived quietly, faithfully, and humbly until his death around the year 547. In fact, tradition says that he died standing, arms raised in prayer, surrounded by his brothers. But his legacy? It's massive. The rule of Benedict has shaped Christian monastic life for over 1,500 years. His ideas inspired countless communities around the world. Even today, his teachings still guide monks, nuns, and spiritual seekers from every walk of life. But maybe the most powerful lesson from Saint Benedict is this: you don't have to change the world all at once. You just have to be faithful where you are. Live with purpose. Pray. Work. Love others. And let God do the rest. So, the next time life feels noisy or overwhelming, think of that young man from Nursia who left everything to find peace in a cave, who turned a quiet life into a legacy of wisdom and grace. That's the story of Saint Benedict of Nursia, a man who taught the world how to live simply and live well.